Hi Dorothy, good morning to you. I know you're in Colorado and your time is precious, and I'm so happy to be talking to you just so that we can introduce the Emotional Mastery Workshop that's happening here in Ireland, in Kilkenny, September 27th and 28th. I'd love you to just introduce yourself a little bit to the Irish people because they don't know you yet. And what I'd really like to hear is the journey that you've taken, the teachings and the learnings that you've had that's led you to this point in your life. I'd love to hear that.
Well, first of all, Fiona, thank you for asking me here today. And I'm just so excited to bring this work to Ireland. I love the Irish people, and I've been longing to visit Ireland. And it is the home, actually, of many of my ancestors. So I'm excited to come in the first place. And as far as my background goes, well, I have been a path with many, many different directions. And when I was just a little child, I had never actually lost that connection with the divine, with the spirit. I was raised Catholic, and through this tradition, which was a beautiful tradition, I learned about ritual and about ceremony and that deep reverence for the earth and for the land and for the people and the meaning of ritual. And then during my teen years, it was really interesting because I was drawn into the esoteric teachings. And I became a member of what is called the Rosicrucians. And they're a part of the Great White Brotherhood. And which is a school of metaphysics. And through the teachings of the Rosicrucians, one of the things was learning about the great philosophers and metaphysicians and going deeply into those esoteric teachings, which was so important for me during my life. And then I was drawn into a group of spiritual community because for a long time I had been studying on my own. And then I came into this wonderful group of people and went into meditation and the teachings of Buddha. And so what we were doing is in 1993, I began facilitating retreats and in meditation and also in vision quests. Yes. So in that community, we went deeply into the teachings of Jesus and compared them with the teachings of Buddha. And it's all about love. And that's the primary focus. So then I was drawn into indigenous world and into the shamanic realm. And I came across an incredible teacher, Don Alberto from Ecuador. And I did a shamanic apprenticeship for 3 years and became a certified shamanic practitioner, which really beautifully brought together both the metaphysical teachings and then that wisdom of the land that was so a part of my childhood. And from there, right afterwards, it was really interesting because I was drawn to Drunvalo Melchizedek and the teachings of the wisdom of Egypt, which again is a very esoteric ancient knowledge. And I became a Flower of Life instructor, and now I'm an instructor of the Awakening the Illuminated Heart workshop, which is his newest teachings. So this was a very deep practice of spirituality, and what I could see, along with metaphysics, was the need to bring in the psychological arena. And so my inner guidance then led me to going back to get my master's in marriage and family therapy, and now I'm a registered psychotherapist, and I have been working with clients over the years. And so I've had this personal connection with people in that way. So with groups and with people. It's been an incredible time.
Wow.
Wow.
We are so
We are
lucky
so
to have you come into
happy.
Kilkenny,
Okay.
to have
To have
all the, you're multi-talented. And the experience that you've had, it's going to be great to partake in that wisdom. So my next question really needs to be then, having experienced what you've experienced and taught what you've taught, Why emotional mastery? Why is it so important now in this age that we're in?
Yes, that's a good question. So when we ask ourselves, Fiona, what is really our ultimate goal of consciousness and our search in spirituality and healing? What are we looking for? And I would say that I believe that most people, especially in the ones that have been following a spiritual path in some way, what they're looking for is peace and harmony. And they're looking for that unity of oneness and knowing that we're all one humanity. We're one divinity. And how do we get there? That's the question. Well, the first place that we look at is to see that we need to love ourselves. And this has been the disconnection. We've been disconnected from our emotions, and we've been disconnected from our body. In fact, it's pretty sad. We've actually been rejecting ourselves. And this is the inner conflict. And so this workshop works with emotions, and it helps us to realize that our emotions are actually here to serve us. And so we learn how to befriend our emotions. We learn how to come into relationship with our body and to not reject it anymore. And this is truly the next step for us. We need to fully embrace all of ourselves in order to love others and to come into that harmony with other people.
Wow, yeah, yes, absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly. Now, as a participant of the Emotional Mastery Workshop, what would I expect to happen for me in this workshop? And then, what would happen for me when I go home? What would I take home with me? How would I continue this inner work?
Yes. In this workshop, that's the first part, is where we do develop this relationship with befriending our body, befriending our emotions, and we begin this journey of learning how to love ourselves. We all have deep childhood wounds. We have trauma. And from these wounds, we have developed adaptive strategies. These adaptive strategies that we've learned, that all of us have, are what is actually causing the conflict that we have with other people and the internal conflict with ourselves. And so in the workshop, we actually look at what are our wounds? What are the strategies that we use? And then we begin to realize that these strategies that we have been using are for a deep purpose. They're here to protect us. They're here to keep us from harm. And in fact, they actually helped us to survive childhood. And with that, we begin to realize that it's not shameful to have experienced these intense emotions that come up. It's just that we haven't learned how to deal with those emotions. And so we will be learning how to center ourselves. We'll learn what our triggers are. We'll be able to then calm ourselves and actually work with our emotions to see that what the meaning of those emotions are, to look at the beliefs that we created and to then see if those beliefs are still serving us or if those are ones that we need to transform into something that will work better in our life. Our beliefs all create our reality. And so we're going to learn about that too. And then finally, one of the most important parts of this is we are going to be learning about what is called the heartfulness process. And this process is actually connecting with the energy in our body, this emotional body inside of us, which contains sensations, feelings, thoughts, and memory. And this memory connects us to all of the experiences we have had in this life, in our past life, and it also connects us back to our ancestors. to the wisdom of our ancestors, and also their pain and suffering. And we can see that line, and we begin then to heal and clear that energy. It also connects us to our higher self. And this is so beautiful when we realize that this connection with our higher self and our inner guidance is by going inside of our body. That this is the key. Going inside, loving ourself completely and fully. And with this, what we realize is that we are love. We are divine. And we are love.
Wow.
I'm so excited to bring this to Ireland.
So am I. After listening to you talking about it, I am super excited. I mean, is one workshop enough? Can you keep coming back?
There are other levels to this workshop.
Ooh, wow, that's exciting. It really does sound like it's a good, in-depth, not scary, but an in-depth, loving way to approach these strategies that you're talking about and the beliefs. I am absolutely psyched about this workshop. So I know your time's precious, and I know that we have to end this call now, but I'd just like to take the time to thank you for sharing this with us, and just to let people out there that are listening and watching this, that if they have any further questions, they can contact you and me, and I'll put my details on the link when I post this link. And until September 27th and 28th, we'll keep the fires burning in Ireland for you. Thank you so much, Dorothy.
Oh, thank you, Fiona. This has been wonderful to meet with you today. I'm just thrilled to bring this. And I'm so excited to meet all of the beautiful Irish people. Thank you so much.
Okay, Dorothy, I'll hang up the call now so that you can get back to your busy day.
Okay, bye.
Bye.